I welcome you all to this fantastic Friday, fun Friday. I need another word that starts with F. Not that. Fabulous Friday. There you go. Fantabulous Friday. Welcome everyone. Enjoy the soothing sounds of a sneezing cat. There you go. That was just for you. Anyway, welcome everyone. It's Party Pack Day. It's Friday, and I'm here after having posted a million tweets that were in rhyme today. I know that some people got a kick out of those, so perhaps you were one of them. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. I want to get the plugs out of the way first, real quick. Along with that, so there's a lot of ways you can support the content if you so choose. You can give me a follow here on Twitch if you haven't already. Every follow to me matters. I see every follow as someone who is interested in the content, is interested in the work that I'm doing, is interested in the kind of things that I do, and that means something too. So follows are also nice. You can subscribe to the channel if you so choose. That gives you access to my Twitch archives currently, and as well as some badges you can flaunt and some emotes you can use in chat. However, I don't have my own custom emotes just yet. Hopefully one day that'll happen too. So that's another option. You can donate directly, paypal.me/superblindman, or click on the donation button on the Twitch page itself. Tips would be great, would be fantastic, would be wonderful. They are to be considered non-refundable, however. I'm just saying that because people like to, well, not everyone, but some people like to charge back, and it's mean, and that's one way to cover yourself. Just let people know tips should be done out of goodwill, and not, just don't be evil, okay? Just don't be evil. I don't like evil. It's mean. Anyway, that's another option. You can also consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/superblindman. That is a way to support me and also get some perks back. You can do a whole bunch of cool stuff, including...
I like the needle. You got your Jaws CD, by the way. I have returned.
Hey! Whoa. That's a lot of messages all at once. Alright. Hey, Connor, how you doing?
6 notifications.
GC Chick, I honestly don't necessarily need it because I already have downloaded it, so... And it's not the authorization CD, so I don't really care. But that's cool they sent one. Yay. So yeah, you can also become a patron, which allows you to do some cool stuff, including... Yeah, right. It allows you to do some cool stuff, including literally control the content of the stream by choosing what you want me to mess around with. Even if it's something that you don't think I could play, hey, it might be funny or fun to see me mess around with a game of your choice. You can do that by becoming a top-tier patron. There's other things, too. There's a poem that you can get that's written by me. There is a... you can get a funny little voicemail message I'll record for you in a voice that I'm capable of doing. There's a funny video I can record for you if you choose that tier. There's an interview, like a Q&A, a filmed Q&A session with your questions I will answer, and so on and so forth. So, a lot of different benefits to becoming a patron. Consider it today. Patreon.com/superblindman. You can also cheer if you like what you see today, if you're having fun today, if you have a couple bits to spare. Throw me some bits. I appreciate every single bit that I receive, even 1 or 2, doesn't matter. I always say that 2 bits is enough for a shave and a haircut, so, cheering is fun, cheering is great. I will take whatever I can get, and I'll be happy with it. That covers the main methods of support. Check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/superblindman. Twitter is @superblindman. Facebook is brandon.l.cole.7. And check out my website, brandoncole.net, where you can find the blog that I write every couple of days, every couple of entries. Every now and then my entries are informative and cool. People like them. You can also find my media page, shows you some of the things I've done in the media over the past several years, and there's more there than you might think. You can also find the links that I mentioned here today. Our GoFundMe campaign is also an option for support. However, that is a link that will be sent out by Nightbot once the chat is active, which it already is. So there you go. All right. That covers the plugs. Oh yeah, one more thing. You can join us on Discord. If you want to, type !Discord into our chat, and you will see a link sent to you by Nightbot. The link will be to our Breakdown Walls Discord server, which has the goal of bringing together the disabled streamers out there and their audiences as well. Kind of bring us all together so we can hang out, chat, do some cool stuff.
Yes, of course you can join us on Discord.
I love that little message.
Breakdown Walls crew cam. Boom.
I love that little message. There you go. There's the link. There's a Discord link. Anyway. Alright, so that covers the plugs. Let's do this thing. Brah. What should we start with? I personally, I don't know. Maybe this is just me, and we can start with whatever. But I personally just think You Don't Know Jack is just a good starter game. I don't know. Plus, I still want that Jimmy Fallon episode. Apparently, it's really amazing. Because I keep getting asked if I got that episode yet. I assume that Jimmy Fallon is, like, in this game. Or something. Must be that cool. What do you guys think? What shall we start with? How shall we begin the day? Got the 3 games that we can play in this party pack. We have other party packs, although I would prefer to start with this one at least because they don't have to switch right away. There will come a time eventually where I don't have to worry about switching. I just do it on the fly, son. On the fly! But not right now. Also, today's
I made it.
Today's stream soda is brought to you by Root Beer. Yes, it's not the soda I wanted, but it's the soda I got. Root Beer. Hey, Tyler Moon Sage. Hey, how you doing, my friend? Welcome.
Oh, you found a root beer.
I sure did.
I forgot about those.
Yep, I sure found one. Tyler Moon Sage, welcome, my friend. Hope you have a good time with us today. Playing some games, having some fun.
I'm gonna go find one. What's up, man? What are we playing today?
We are playing whatever you guys want to play to start with. I personally want to start with You Don't Know Jack. That's just my personal preference. I just think You Don't Know Jack works as a good starter game. That's just my opinion. But it's up, you know, if you guys want to play something else, or if you guys want to, you know, we can do whatever. We can do whatever you want. I would, my personal preference is to start with this party pack, though, just because right now, switching means stopping the broadcast.
YDKJ is fine with me.
Which I don't want to do just yet. Okay, so we'll start with, yeah, we'll start with You Don't Know Jack. It's the only vote we've gotten, so let's start with You Don't Know Jack for now, at least to start with.
I agree. You Don't Know Jack is a good
Yeah. See, I like that. It's got a lot of clever little funny jokes that get you in the party pack playing mood.
Is a little too proud of this menu screen.
You really are, Binge Pipe. You know why? You know why, Binge Pipe? Let me tell you, Binge Pipe. Because I can't even see it! That's right! I got you now, Binge Pipe! What you want? Anyway.
Binge Pipe is proud to be voted number
It needs some
one.
accessibility work, but overall it's good.
137.
Split the Room is fun, as long as we have a sighted person available to read us the things the other players say. But it's fun.
Binge
with
Pipe
that.
knows what you want to watch, even when you can't articulate it.
What do I like to watch? Thumb. Smack Water Jack.
Lumps, darts,
I was lucky to
in
have
a
one.
jar?
The results are amusing.
Petunias.
Yeah.
Corn.
Yeah, I like me some
I
Split the
don't
Room.
know.
Why am I having so much trouble?
So now we need the
Been drugged.
wonderful.
Binge
I love
Pipe.
that commercial.
Is it
We
possible
need-
yeah,
to
we-
have too
Before I
much
started the stream.
content?
We still need
These
the
new
code of
Binge
doom.
Pipe programs say no.
Wait.
No, we don't have a code just
This
yet. No.
Chinese takeout place.
You
This
should
isn't
have
a
heard
normal
Cookie's Thanksgiving
restaurant.
jokes.
Look at the roof.
Oh, someone
It
has the
used to
code.
be a Pizza Hut. It used to be a Pizza Hut.
And the final rose goes to...
Could the person that
does
entered the
everyone already
game
have a rose?
kindly provide us the room code?
QSLT.
Sarah
Okay,
with an
thank you.
H or Sarah with no H?
Sarah with 3 H's.
Can I get everyone's rose back, please?
All right, the code is
Most
QSLT.
coaches want their
That
players
is
to
Quebec
succeed.
Slaughter.
Not Coach Jones.
Little.
He's a massive dick.
Oh God, no. No, I'm changing.
Tarcottans. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's puberty.
Quebec slaughters little Tarcottans. Basically, Canada is the enemy of Tarcottans everywhere. This is the problem. Oh my god. What is wrong with me? I'm having fun today.
To enter
I'm
the
having
room, simply
fun.
go to the website on your screen using your phone or other device and
We have-
enter the room code.
We have a good amount
or
of
if you're
players.
a member of our extrasensory trial
I think we have,
program,
like, 6,
simply
if I
think
counted
the room
right.
code very hard.
Killster Freak 88 is in the game. Yeah.
Hello.
Boris the Slav 212. Hey, how you doing? welcome to the stream, the chat, the content, the game. I hope you have a good time with us today. Thanks for stopping in.
Rings on this here tree. Now it's up to me, the first woman
Hope you're ready
in
for
our
some
family,
party
to take on
pack.
the responsibility of
Yeah.
overseeing the business and
Hello,
appeasing
comrade.
the bloodthirsty and vengeful tree gods with
Hello,
the unreasonable
comrade.
sacrifices they demand. And to promise
That's probably
to never
embarrassing
talk about
to,
the bodies.
I apologize for that,
I'm
honestly.
raising a family in these here
I
woods.
try to do accents. It was probably terrible. I apologize for that. I shouldn't do that.
Okay,
Pipe
let's
show
go.
hat shop.
All right, let's do
I travel
this.
the world, make friends, and see a whole lot of hats. Here's a sneak peek.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Boris the Slav 212.
I spent my whole
My
life
friend Trinity and I
thinking
were
I
trying
was
to
an
figure out
only
what could be done
child.
about split the room.
And then to
We
find
couldn't
out
come
I
up with
had
anything.
Nah, nothing really can be done about it without actual modification of the game.
Binge Pipe, much to the chagrin of its board of directors, presents You Don't Know Jack.
Mama Flo is here, alright.
Binge Pipe. No
Welcome back.
hero,
Always good to see you on
no
Party Pack
all
Day.
fine.
Cookie Masterson here. You know, I'm banned from every zoo east of the Mississippi River, but don't worry, it's for a much weirder reason than you think. 8
That's
people at
not good.
once? What is this? The weekly grown-ups party my mom hosts when I go to my ceramics class?
I've learned more about Cookie than I care
So
to.
let's make this happen. Time for question 1. To begin with, I'm only watching so I can talk to my coworkers. Okay, what do you think of this premise for my Black Mirror spec script? There's this town that seems perfect, but all the women are robots. That's iRobot, dummy. That's Valley of the Dolls, idiot. That's Brave New World, stupid. Or, that's the Stepford Wives, moron.
Side note, I love Black Mirror. I'm just saying. Black Mirror is an amazing show. Everyone should watch it.
Let's see how that shook out. Oh yeah, the Stepford Wives is where all the men replace their wives with submissive robots.
There you go.
So I've never actually watched Black Mirror, but I'm pretty sure
no, it's
the
good.
episode ends with a British person looking into the camera and saying, "Oh dear God, we've been in a computer this whole time." That about right?
No, it's actually not. It's actually not.
I've just been watching Black Mirror, LOL.
There's
Oh, it's
no
so good.
hiding
I love that
from
show.
Poor Cookie.
Pits Boss. If Old Spice came out with a deodorant with an Elon Musk, what would it smell like?
Oh yeah?
A freshly opened Amazon box, an unused iPhone, a brand new Tesla, or a bag of whole food produce.
Yeah! This is my episode right here. We got Black Mirror.
Hope you
We got
like
this
what you
thing.
picked. With Amazon Prime, you could have gotten this wrong 2 days faster. Get ready to lose
I
a
took it
whole
wonderful.
lot of money. Elon Musk is the CEO of Tesla Motor Company.
Tesla!
And I, for one, welcome driverless cars because it's in cars that I'm most commonly subjected to other people's body odor.
Ewa.
Why don't we do it with cream?
Next up, save the world in style, courtesy of this or that.
Oh snap! It's a this or that. Yeah.
I'm gonna read you 7 things, and for each one I want you to tell me if it's a popular brand of jeans or a humanitarian organization. Think fast, you'll only get a
Okay.
few seconds to pick between denim or humanitarianism. And you're all doing this together, so pay attention.
Who came
Okay,
up with
let's
this?
do it. Oxfam. True religion. Citizens of humanity. All hands.
I feel like I'm doing terrible. But then I always kind of feel like that with most of these.
Humanitarian Coalition. Seven for all mankind. solution.
I don't know. I don't know James. Oh boy.
All right, a majority of you deserve my praise, but you failed in ways numbers can't truly explain.
Oh no.
Binge pipe hurts when you hurt.
Looks like it's screw time.
That's right, Cookie. Using the screw makes it harder for all the other players to answer in a variety of pleasurable ways. And you'll receive
Wow.
a monetary bonus for anyone who answers incorrectly.
Great, thanks.
Happy to engage with you.
Binge pipe is so creepy.
Try this on for size. The 5 stages of reef. You know what they say? The Nile ain't just a river.
Hey,
in
TJ's
Egypt.
a blind gamer. How you doing, my friend?
So true.
Glad you're here.
It's also a river in Libya, Sudan, Algeria, or Niger. Oh, this'll be good.
Oh no.
Player 5 just dropped a screw on you
Oh,
guys.
good.
You don't like vowels.
Yeah, TJ's a blind gamer. If you want to join in our next game, you're welcome to do that. Also, you can also join the audience for this one if you so
Hey,
choose.
What? Could be worse.
Sorry,
No,
not
in
sorry.
theory. The Nile River passes through 11 countries, including Sudan. So it definitely ain't just a river in Egypt. Another thing I always say, the Elephant Butte ain't just a river
If
in
you want to
Mexico.
join the audience, the code is-
It's a lake, actually. Look it up. Nicely screwed, Player 5. Have some cash.
Oh, really? Sweet. Wow, dude. That's so awesome. I'm super jealous of you, but that's so awesome.
Oh, here's a good
Wow.
one. Dead white guys. Which of these dead white guys is the deadest white guy? Napoleon, Claude Monet, Thomas Jefferson, or Fyodor
boy.
Dostoevsky?
If you do want to join the audience, the code is QSLT.
So what'd you pick? You fell for a made-up name. What? He's real? Oh, still wrong though. Napoleon died in 1821, Jefferson died in 1826,
Yay, I'm so special.
Dostoevsky in the 1880s, and Monet in the 1920s. So Napoleon is the deadest white guy.
We fail. We fail.
Whitest
We
dead
fail
guy?
together.
That's gotta be Monet. That motherfucker is so white, when there's a blizzard, people are like, what's the weather outside like? Monet is blocking the view. Round 1 is history. Time to count your chips while sitting at the table.
Currently, Player 5 is in the lead. Player 7, on the other hand,
There's a soft spot on every apple. It's you. Looks like there's still some deficits
Wow.
in aptitude.
Wow.
So here comes another screw.
Round 2 screws are more powerful, and they'll net you more cash for each player that gets the question wrong. So don't forget to use that thing. The rest of you better answer fast if you don't want to be screwed. Oh, and did I mention all the money's doubled in round 2?
Time and fun stops for no one.
6 trombones is not a parade.
Here's one for you. A very
Nice
serious
thing is all the
medical
big zombies
question.
guys are friendly and talk with each other. Maybe the other
Ermiger,
guys
you
start
have
talking about me
GERD?
as well.
Sorry about your
Most of
feet swirling, acid reflux, liver disease, allergy to gluten.
Wow. What the heck was this question about?
Okay, what'd you pick?
Yeah, man. I wish you the best of luck. I mean, I've also gotten into zombies recently, but I'm not that good at it yet.
Acid contents of the stomach coming back into the esophagus.
I wish you the best, man. I hope that works out for you. I need to find my my key to that kind of that level of awesomeness.
Behold, every kiss begins with Klimt. If you've ever been in a college dorm, you know that Gustav Klimt painted the kiss, but I'm pretty sure he didn't paint anything called the next day phone
gotten
call
the one
or
about
the making a
pistachio
real
nuts?
commitment to this relationship.
I don't think
If
so.
the lady
I
from
don't think
the
I've gotten that
Viennese
one.
painting The Kiss were depicted going to town on a traditional Viennese dessert, what would that painting of her eating her Viennese feelings be called? The tearful tiramisu, the sobbing in a soccer tort, the pitiful profiteroles, or the choking on a croquembouche?
I have no idea. I'm going to guess. Guessing is fun. Yay! I do so enjoy guessing.
What'd you guys
Thanks.
pick?
I've spoken with the team
You
who keeps track of
did
world
a
records for
bad
zombies.
job.
I'll be the first blind, visually impaired person to attempt it.
Soccer tort is a decadent
Awesome, dude.
chocolate cake that was invented
Again,
by Franz
more power to you,
Soccer
my friend.
in Vienna, and it's just fun
More
to
power
say.
to you.
Soccer tort. In the end,
Oh,
chocolate
Mothball,
will
you timed out.
never break your heart.
Oh. Gosh golly, gee willikers and darn it. Yeah, I need to play zombies more just to do it.
We'd
You know.
like to initiate a moment
'Cause I
of
do have fun with it.
playful
I do love zombies.
interactivity. Would you like a question with air horns or a question about air horns?
Ooh,
Choose
I know.
on your
I
devices
know.
now.
Ah, I have voted. Who will win?
Here are the consequences of your choices. We graciously accept your choice.
'Twas then I learned to heed the winds of eight.
And now, a question with air
Yes!
horns.
Yes.
When I get one of these babies in my hands, I just
Apparently
can't
there have been hearing impaired players
myself.
and totally deaf players to set and beat
How
world
many
records, but in the
compartments
entire
does
Call
a
of Duty
cow's
Not
stomach
much choice,
have?
lol.
Or
I know the answer to that one. Yay!
oh, watch out. Okay, player 7 just screwed the room. Let's flip the script
Hey, cool.
on this question.
Again. Again, man, I give you all the props in the world for it.
Let's see who got
Best
it.
of luck to you. I hope you can do
Cow
it.
has 4 distinct compartments in their stomach, or sometimes
That's the kind of
misreferenced as
that's the
4
kind of
stomachs.
you know
4
that kind of
stomachs.
attention
That'll
helps
make a
get the
lot
message of accessibility across. So I'm all about
Nice
that.
use of the screw, player 7. Here's your extra cash. How about this one? Dead men seem to keep telling tales. The power of film to depict the majesty of the human condition or move us to laughter and tears really is remarkable. Anyway, what happened in Pirates of the Caribbean 5? Something with the Fountain of Youth? Something with a trident? Something with Atlantis? Or something with an undead shark?
I've never seen that one. I've only ever seen the first Pirates movie. I've only seen the first one.
Okay, let's
Stop
take a
everybody.
look. Honestly, I have no idea.
Terrible.
But
Terrible,
let's say
terrible.
no.
Hey, Concrete Casket.
Maybe.
Thank you very much for joining the stream today.
No,
I know where
you're
you came from.
thinking of the
Thank you very much
undead Sharknado
for stopping
Christmas,
in,
The music.
checking this out.
In Pirates of the Caribbean
welcome to join us in
5,
some party
everyone
pack if
is
you like.
after the trident of Poseidon or something, maybe. I heard
I
Pirate
am
6
flying
is
to
a
the
search
USA
for
next
what's
week.
left of Johnny
Can't you
Depp's
wait?
career.
Flying to the USA? Oh, cool, cool. Well, we'll be glad to have you. We
I
Americans.
call this one, you're a tool. Which 4
sir.
tools
How's the
hang
day
on
going?
that little iron thingy next to a fireplace?
Going great so far.
Shovel,
I've had a
broom,
great day so
saw,
far today.
Tongs, poker, saw, hook, tongs, poker, saw, broom, hook, or poker, shovel, broom, tongs.
You know, I've never had a fireplace. I feel like I definitely got this wrong.
It'll get easier in time. Yep, these are the main 4 that hang on that thing. My granddad used to say a proper fire must be poked, shoveled, broomed, and tonged.
Weird
Well,
questions.
okay, fair enough. We never use it though. Actually, what you're hearing is the PS4's built-in text-to-speech feature.
When you see
That's
an
what you're
answer that
hearing.
matches the
I do have a
category,
program that reads the
type it
chat
on
on my
your
computer
device.
as well.
The faster you
But
pick
what
a
you're
right
hearing is
answer,
actually
the
just the
more cash
PS4's
you
built-in
make.
feature for that.
More than one answer can be right, but each time you're wrong, I'm taking some cash away. And
okay.
don't forget, it's gotta be a match that fits this clue. A real country, and all the answers are real countries, and something else.
Uh-oh. Nailing it! So yeah, Concrete Cascade, what you're hearing is the PS4's feature for that, but I do have a screen reader on my computer that is reading it too. Oh wow, that fooled a lot of people. Bulgaria! Hey, guess what, guys? We don't know Jack. I will answer that question momentarily, Concrete Casket. Wow. Wow. Okay, okay, okay. Now to answer Concrete's question. Right now, I actually have in progress a Final Fantasy X playthrough that I've been working on for... Oh, Player 1 wins. Congratulations to Player 1. I think it's GC Chick.
Nicely done, Player 1.
I think it was.
No one thought you could do it, but you won. Congrats, my friend. Even though we
Anyway,
all know...
yeah, I'm currently doing a Final Fantasy X playthrough, which is kind of turning into a really awesome Let's Play Together kind of thing. Oh, Uber Troop. Okay, cool. That's what it's turning into because it's behind the scenes thing.
And I just wanted to say, sorry. Have a friend
Oh.
Gerd and it's a serious deserves.
Wow.
Jerk.
Thank you for joining us for this binge pipe bonus content.
Wow, that was dumb. Okay. So yeah, currently playing Final Fantasy X with my viewers, kind of. Like, they're helping me out with certain things that aren't accessible about the game. But I can play most of the game.
Same players.
No, I think we should do new players. We have new people now. We have new people in chat now.
It's like
also, I play a lot of I play a lot of fighting games. I've played a lot of Mortal Kombat.
Streaming service to determine that people really needed to hear a voice talking
I have
to them
I can play Resident Evil
all the
6.
time when they first
I
interact
started.
with the user
I'm
interface.
breaking into Resident Evil
And we
7
refuse
more
to
recently.
course
Also,
correct on that
I'm breaking into Black Ops 4 Zombies mode, which is actually playable by the blind, and I'm still learning, but I'm figuring it out how that actually works. So that's fun. Madden, I've done some of that because they've added accessibility features to Madden to make it blind accessible.
It's never been easier. Thanks to the Binge Pipe streamer program.
And more.
Just
and
listen
more.
To these satisfied streamers.
I couldn't believe how
I
easy
have
it
a right
was
to
to
crush all of you
stream
in
with
Mortal
Binge
Kombat
Pipe.
with the C and Jack.
It was like super easy to get started.
There was almost no setup.
There was literally no setup.
No
I mean,
complicated
you
sign
could-
process.
you could-
You just click a
You could-
button and
features in
stream.
to make it blind
Sometimes
accessible.
I was streaming without
Are
even
you able to
clicking
play
the
Blaze
button.
Blue?
I'm not totally sure what that button does, actually.
Yes, I can. I can play Blaze Blue. Yeah.
But now I can't stop streaming.
Seriously?
Madden has a some
Super Smash Brothers.
I think I'm
Madden has some
streaming
features
right
added.
now.
for blind accessibility, like menu narration for Madden 19 that narrates the main menu to let you know where you are in the main menu. Also, there are force feedback options for the blind that tell you certain things, like when the ball is thrown, or whether the play you're running is a passing or a running play, and how you should react to it. When you're about to be tackled, things like that, things that help us out. And there's the kick meter also has force feedback now too.
First, we made a show about cows.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it's good for the community though. Like what he's doing is good for the community. I kind of wish it was me. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, it's good for the community.
I'm going to war.
Anyway, what's the room code? I actually don't even know what the room code is. I don't even know what the room code is.
Down on the floor
now. This is my first
time teaching a yoga class. I said get down.
I've just fallen down the stairs,
I know.
but I feel great.
I agree with that. But I was trying to give him the props, you know, for what he was doing. You know, more power to him for spreading the message and all that, but
more players than
you know,
player slots,
one should come.
Or you're just uncomfortable with the term player slots. You may participate as an
I am completely blind. Yes, Concrete, I'm completely blind as of the first 2 months of my existence. I was born with a type of cancer called retinoblastoma, which attacks the eyes first.
I'm going to talk about Fortnite in his channel.
And literally, yeah, right. And literally, that's the only the only like. I'm lucky to have only lost my eyes. Basically, is the positive thing about that type of cancer. Retinoblastoma is vicious.
There is a game in Jackbox Party Pack 2 that is all about sound. Why is the music randomly rising and falling in pitch? Falling.
I have an irrational fear of change.
He did not get 1000 follows either. He only has 269. Jesus Christ, man, gnarly stuff.
Hello, listeners. If you love podcasts, you'll love our new show.
No, he got 1,000 subscribers.
Like everybody's
according to him. I don't know. I don't know, bruh.
For the quality of
because you can subscribe without following. So according to him, you got 1,000 subs.
Mission of laziness.
Welcome to the Great Ping Pong Debate. I want to apologize for the echo. We're not in our usual studio.
This is real bears.
So I actually have an answer for the music rising and falling thing. At first, I noticed that happening when GC Chick was playing World of Warcraft, and I thought it was just the game in certain situations, but it's not. It's basically Twitch's effort to catch up with the live stream when your connection isn't perfect to it.
Excited to list all the episodes of Pushing Daisies from most to least charming, and
join us, won't you? It'll be a good time, and we.
Yeah, it is RSYC. I'm sorry, guys. It is RSYC. I'm getting distracted by all this chat. No, and the reason I say that is Party Pack 1, Coast Freak, Party Pack 1, although it does have Ethernet jack, is not very internet friendly. They were not planning for streamers back then, so the time extensions don't exist. The time limits are very short on everything. They expected everyone to get their phones and play it together on the couch, you know?
Do you binge pipe?
Yeah, the code is RSYC. I'm sorry about that, guys.
Because of words.
Binge pipe. We don't understand either.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of things that might be the reason that you know, maybe he has 1,000 subs and only I don't know. I don't know.
Please enjoy the following.
I'm Blake.
Yeah. Do anyone else want to join in this Ethernet jack round? We will actually play earwax today.
I went to a grocery store, dressed like a
I mean, maybe he's talking about YouTube. He could be talking about YouTube too.
How to monetize our growing
he isn't necessarily talking about Twitch, which then I'm actually not as jealous, because that doesn't mean as much if it's YouTube subscribers.
Yeah,
we bought a dinosaur costume.
So everyone has disappeared?
More like half the population
of Earth?
Yeah,
we know
yeah.
Of, yes.
1,000 Twitch subs would be a lot. I would die. I would just fall over and be dead.
Unclear.
Do any other screen reader users have tips how to nap for lowering the video
also
quality?
Unclear.
But we definitely have to defuse this bomb, right?
That.
Binge Pipe is almost free of the curse by presenting.
Okay, yeah, so it's YouTube. Yeah, there you go.
Binge Pipe, bringing yesterday into the future today.
Yeah, I think no one else is here to be joining, so I agree with the start of the game. So if you guys want, we can do earwax after this. Yeah, I do love earwax. Everyone loves earwax. So we can do that after this if you like.
It's all my favorite people.
Oh, all of them? Wow.
Player 3 is here.
Let's do earwax.
Alright, after this round, we'll do earwax.
Time for question 1.
To get started, The Geriatric Avenger. The secret to box office millions is letting a 95-year-old comic book writer wander through your film. If there were an Etsy store called Stan Lee Cameos, what would it sell? Stan Lee's profile engraved on necklace pendants, Stan Lee's silver hair intertwined on cross-stitch pillows, Stan Lee's fingerprints on decorative clothing pins, or soy candles that smell like Stan Lee?
That's a hilarious question. I love that question.
I love this.
Yeah,
part.
seriously. And this game came out before then too.
Caramel candy and massive piles of money. When you engrave an image into a material and wear it as jewelry, it's known as a cameo.
Yay! I think. No, not really.
Coming up next, I accidentally joined the Navy. Which of these headlines is just straight up clickbait? You won't believe what this shirtless sailor calls a torpedo. I'm single and call nautical miles the craziest things. I'm waiting for you to give a nickname to my ammo soldier, or my husband doesn't know the military term for kilometers. Do you? Who picked what?
You can get all the party packs. You have to be aware that Party Pack 1 is not internet ready.
Military,
Party Pack 2, 3, 4, and 5 are pretty much okay for the internet.
I had to remain 3 clicks away from the cool cliques in high school because we didn't click.
They're all on sale right now, by the way. All party packs are on Black Friday sale.
Mademoiselle Pac-Man. And you don't need a joystick to play this dizzard.
Well, I didn't get them for PC, so I actually don't have the answer to that.
And for each one, I want you to tell me if it's a flavor of LaCroix sparkling water, an item in Ms. Pac-Man, or both. Answer quick. You'll only have a few seconds to choose between LaCroix, Ms. Pac-Man, or both.
Hey, I'm going to suck at this! Yay!
So look alive. Ready? Good. Orange.
So, side note to Concrete really quick, since you're one of my newer people, all I ask, tell your friends, share the fact that you are following a blind gamer, see if you can get people to follow along. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors.
Banana.
I have no idea.
Apricot. Lime.
I mostly guess the same thing for every answer, because I don't know.
It took real teamwork to be this bad. But Player 7,
ouch,
you failed the best.
That might be me.
Binge Pipe customer retention protocol has been activated.
Oh, that means it's screw time.
That's correct, Binge Pipe employee Cookie Masterson. Screwing during a question makes life a little tougher for all the other players in a variety of enjoyable ways. And you'll receive a bonus for each player who chooses incorrectly.
Yeah, okay, they get it.
You're welcome, devoted customer.
What if I'm not devoted? What if I'm not?
Let's try Sonic the Comic. Ever seen a hedgehog do stand-up comedy? No? Okay,
not yet.
Great story. A hedgehog comic opens his set with, "Hey folks, how does a hedgehog make love?" Very carefully, "Heyo!" A heckler responds, "Don't quit your day job!" What was the hedgehog's brilliant comeback? "Don't quit sleeping for 18 hours? Thank you, I won't. My day job is curling myself into a ball. You should try it. I masturbate my quills during the day. You should be so lucky." Or, "Sir, are you a weasel? I eat weasels."
Wow.
And how'd we do? They only do that when they're frightened or after bombing at comedy clubs.
Okay, fine.
Hedgehogs are nocturnal and they pretty much sleep all day long.
Whoa!
But that's also true.
Crash Bandicoot's here.
Whoa! Feast your eyes upon this. The young and the vestless. If millennials were blamed for the demise of trebuchets, what headline would you see? Millennials are killing the girdle industry. Millennials are killing the boulder hurling industry. Millennials are killing the horse carriage industry. Or millennials are killing the sundial industry. Hope you like what you picked. Yep. The trebuchet is not a type of horse carriage. Sorry, not sure why I said yep at the beginning of that. Used in medieval times, the trebuchet, or trebuchet, was a weapon used to hurl huge boulders.
Yeah, man, you gotta deal with those in Diablo 3. Diablo 3, I should have mentioned that. If Concrete, if you're still here, I played that too.
Let's see who deserves
on console, though, not on PC.
Currently, player 6 is in the lead.
Player 6?
Player 3, on the other hand.
Wow, you are really doing it. Poorly.
When the going gets tough,
wow.
The tough gets another screw.
And keep in mind, round 2 screws have crazier effects. Plus, they earn you
I was just pointing out, after the trebuchet question, I was like, yeah, you have to worry about those in Diablo 3. Oh, by the way, I played Diablo 3 too.
The rest of you better answer fast.
On the console, though, not on PC.
Oh, and
it's not really accessible on PC, but it is on console.
Doubled, in case you care about things like that.
You're doing so well, Cookie.
Losing's bad. You should, like, not lose.
Introducing the first rule of AV Club. For this question, I was going to hook up my laptop to the TV. Oh, but I can't find the right dongle. Oh, dong it. If my laptop's dongle were the same relative size as a male sea turtle's dongle, about how long would that be?
Oh boy.
1/64th the length of my laptop, 1/16th the length of my laptop,
oh my God.
1/2 the length of my laptop, or twice the length of my laptop. Okay, what'd you pick?
Oh wow.
What were you thinking there? Male sea turtles are extremely well endowed.
Really?
Its penis size is roughly half its body length.
Wow.
Which explains why you never see them driving sports cars.
Less bears should mow.
They don't gotta compensate for nothing.
This one's called type equals squiggly bracket.
Oh, here we go.
Comma,
data mining.
Classic squiggly bracket.
Got this question last night.
That's awesome.
Binge Pipe has a whole unfortunate data mining thing they do.
I can take it from here. We need some help with the following data. Aladdin Sane, David Robert Jones, Thin White Duke. Who was Googling himself? Axl Rose, Bob Dylan, Tom Jones, or David Bowie?
I have. For, 6 years, since 2012.
Look sharp. Player 7 unleashed that screw. I think it's time for some reflection.
Yep, 6 years, man.
Okay, let's take a look. Nope, that wasn't it. Born David Robert Jones, David Bowie created the alter egos Aladdin Sane and Thin White Duke.
Haha, I got it right.
So many identities in one vessel. We like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Sometimes you creep me out.
I was, you know, I kind of latched onto his kind of be real with people attitude and humor as well. And honestly, he's one of the inspirations behind me doing this right now. Not the only one, but one of them.
Take a good look at where do I take these rock blasting explosives? And
yes! Oh, I'm amazing at these. I'm amazing at these.
It's time for
Oh, I'm gonna kill you all with this because I'm awesome.
Get those typing fingers ready because the longer you take, the less money you make.
Yeah,
okay,
and gibberish questions. That's all.
Look at this gibberish phrase and tell me what movie title it rhymes with. Go below the far door's quarry. And don't get hung up on that punctuation. There's this young smuggler.
Wow, I got it, but I was the third one to get it. I can't believe it. I can't believe I was the third one to get it.
Far, far away.
Dang it. I'm supposed to be good at these. Ah.
Alone, a space battle tale.
I like that. I like that clue.
Let's see how you did. Player 1. You just didn't get it, did you? Who else took a shot? I give up. What was it?
Yay!
Now let's keep going.
I got it right!
9.
Here's one I like to call Down Under and Around Again. If you've
Yeah,
heard Iggy
well,
Azalea's
yeah,
song
that would be
Fancy,
great.
you already
That would be
know
great.
she's in the fast lane from LA to Tokyo. This road would be what percentage of the world's circumference? 11%, 22%, 33%, or 44%?
Good question. I don't really know the answer. That's a good question.
I love this part. This is almost half the circumference, but completely wrong.
Oh, snap.
The fastest distance between LA and Tokyo would be around 5,478 miles, which is about 22% of the Earth's 24,901 miles circumference.
Oh, I got it wrong.
Sadly, the fanciest thing about me is the feast I provide my cats. Coming up, a name to forgive, but
hey, Orin, how you doing, my
forget.
friend?
Which
Welcome.
of these is the real name of the real person who really composed the opera Hansel and Gretel? Francis Babertooth, Catherite, Meisternut, Jimothy, Chompadunk, or Engelbert Humperdinck?
Wow.
Okay, who chose what?
Those names,
It
though.
wouldn't be fun if you got everything right. Yep, that's really his name. Keeping in mind this is a different Engelbert Humperdinck than the contemporary singer who is also named Engelbert Humperdinck. What is happening?
Wow. Wow. People have that name. They really have it.
Welcome to the attack. When you see an answer... Oh, I'm sorry, I was hosting a game. How stupid of me. Here's your clue. Names that stand for something. Pick the words that the acronyms stand for.
Quiet time.
Good luck.
Not that I know of. I like this. I like the check attack. Yeah. I didn't know that one. I didn't really know it. thank you, Oren. I just saw it. Thank you, Oren, for the 2-month sub. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you very much.
I'm glad the underdog won. You did know.
Super duper appreciated, my friend. I'm sorry I was in the midst of that Jack attack. I apologize for missing that earlier, but thank you for that. Hey, behind the scenes content. Yay!
Funny story. For that Iggy Azalea question, I still have no idea who that is. The directing and writing team tried to explain it to me for like an hour. It was like they were speaking gibberish. Anyway, eventually, I just read the question phonetically. And I think it turned out pretty good. Yeah, it's just one of the tricks of the trade.
Thank you for joining us for this binge type.
He doesn't know who Iggy Azalea is. Wow. Alright. Yeah, we can do some earwax. So, what this is going to involve is I have to switch party packs. The way this works right now...
Binge.
The way this works right now is... I have to switch party packs, which means I have to end the broadcast.
Everything you need to start a trivia game.
She's like an Australian rapper / singer. Anyway, so I have to switch party packs, which means the broadcast will end because I don't have any. I'm not super fancy smashy just yet. So broadcast will end. It will come back on its own. If it does not, give it about a minute and then refresh, and you should get it back. So I'll jump into party pack 2, and we'll get some earwax going here, and we'll play that game. Just refresh again. Just refresh if it doesn't come back on its own. Here we go.